as a quick way of a recap, we went ahead straight away to discuss what we call the financial distress. What we call the financial distress. Financial distress is that situation where the organization is not able to pay its liabilities when they fall due, right? So the company is straining a lot. And I went ahead to teach you some very important model which is used to measure levels of bankruptcy, levels of financial distress. And one of those methods that we put down, if you can remember very well, is what we call the first one, the first model of measuring financial distress is what we called Altman's Z-Score. Altman's Z-Score model. The Altman's Z-Score model. I may have forgotten so many things about this. I can't remember exactly what I taught you under Altman's Z-Score, but there is one thing that I will never forget under Altman's Z-Score. Under Altman's Z-Score, I will never forget the concept of this acronym. There is a very important acronym that I will never forget. Is there anybody who is able to remember this acronym of WAREMAS? Anybody who is able to remember this acronym of WAREMAS? Anybody who is able to remember this acronym of WAREMAS? Anybody who is able to remember this acronym of WAREMAS? The topic here, thank you, Mary. The topic is called corporate restructuring and reorganization, which is topic number 5. Topic number 5. Topic number 5. So WAREMAS is the acronym that I should always be thinking about. Whenever this examiner gives us a question on Altman's Z-Score, I must be in a position of remembering these WAREMAS. And the WAREMAS, remember we said WAREMAS, we have WO. This comes in twins, 2, 2, 2. And then the others, of course, these are single letters like them. If you remember, we said that X1 will be the WO. And then X2 will be the R. X3 will be the E. X4 will be the MA. And then we have X5. X5 now is this S. All right. So remember, this WA stands for working capital. This stands for working capital. Working capital. This stands for retained earnings. This stands for retained earnings. This stands for EBIT, earnings before interest and tax. And then this stands for market value of ordinary shares. Market value of ordinary shares. And then lastly, we have the concept of what here? The concept of sales. The concept of sales. The concept of sales. Yes, we shall be able to share. You know, I never wanted to engage you quite a lot because I'm still waiting for students to come, really. This class is normally a big class. This class, like last semester, we had 270-something students, right? Once they come is when we shall be able to sit down, all of us, and then we discuss their syllabus. We discuss the syllabus together. And then, of course, I give you whatever materials that I have regarding here. Right now, what we're trying to do is basically to ensure that you guys are not missing any class, and at least we are swimming somehow as we wait for these guys to come. I'm so showing that this week, which has begun, from Friday next week, we shall be having quite a good quorum. All right. So then how do we change these two ratios? To change these two ratios, we must come and divide. So we have the concept of dividing. To change these two ratios, we must come and divide here. And if you remember very well, we said we shall divide this with the tar. The only one where we use TL is X4. X4 is the only one where we get to make use of what here? TL. Who can remind Mwalimu? This tar stands for what in full? Is there anybody who can remind Mwalimu what tar stands for in full? What tar stands for in full? TAR, total assets. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Silas. This TA stands for total assets. TA stands for total assets. TA stands for total assets. And then TL stands for total liabilities. Total liabilities. So now I would want us to look at a question here, which is August 2022, question number 4, boy. August 2022, question number 4, boy. I hope you have the link to These past papers. August 2022, question number 1. Boy, do we have this link, ladies and gentlemen? Do we have this link, ladies and gentlemen, toward getting it, these past papers? We don't have these past papers. Then the question is here. The question is here. The question is here. The question is here. The August 2022 question is here. So we are told here, the Altman's formula for prediction of bankruptcy is given as follows. So we have here Z1 all the way to X1 to X5. All right. All right. So you are provided with the following information in respect of 3 listed companies. So then they want us, ladies and gentlemen, to give them the Z-score for each of the 3 companies. How many marks? 6 marks. This was a crazily bright examiner. He knew that most students, the way we teach them, we normally give them a formula. So this examiner went the other way around, and then he provided his own formula. He provided his own formula with even how X's are found. And then, for example, you can see X5 and X4, he interchanged them. So he said X4 is sales over total assets, and then X5 is market value of equity. So every other thing is the same, except for the fact that even this formula, he took X4, the whatever that we normally have here is X5, 1X5 like that. So he did some swap. So could you kindly tell me tonight, ladies and gentlemen, if you are to be very honest with me, if this was the kind of an exam that you got in your sitting, and then you have, in this case here, Mwalimu's acronym is like this. Mwalimu's acronym is like this. But you go and realize that the examiner has given you his own formulas of getting these X's. What will you do? Will you follow Mwalimu's formula, or will you follow what the examiner has given you? What will you do? 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 Thanks, George. We buy revision kits. We buy revision kits. We buy revision kits from RCM. From RCM Online College, we sell them at 1,000 shillings. At 1,000 shillings, that will be great. Thank you so much. So, Julius, as much as you may really love your mwalimu, as much as exam are concerned, the examiner is always superior. The examiner is always superior. The examiner is always what here? Superior. So you shall use the examiner's formulas. This is the only sitting when he gave us those formulas of getting X1 to X5. All the other sittings, he has never done that. So then we can only use what here? His formula. So let's strive to use his formula. So I would want all of us in this case here to calculate X1. I would want all of us to calculate X1. Remember X1, it is here. It is working capital over total assets. So for the 3 companies A, B, C, please make that table for us. Make that table for us. And then you should be able to compute this X1 for us. This X1 for us. This X1 for us. So we have the table like it is looking there. So we have A, we have B, we have C like that. So then A, it's working capital of 4,000 all over total assets of 200,000. So A, it is 4,000 all over 200,000. How about boy? For boy, ladies and gentlemen, this is August, sorry. August 2020 was quite a straightforward question apart from that twist. August 2022, question number 4B. Question number 4B. All right. So could you kindly give me this X1? Kindly give me X1. X1. Kindly give me X1. Kindly give me X1. 4,000 divided by 200,000. It is December. Sorry. It is December 2022. It is December 2022. I'm so sorry. It's December 2022. Question number December 2022. December 2022. Question number 4B. December 2022. Question number 4B. Sorry for that. It's December 2022, question number 4b. So please do me a favor. 4,000 divided by this 200,000 gives me the x1 for A. X1 for A. And then X1 for B, it'll be 2,000 divided by its total assets here, 100,000. And then for C, we have 6,000 divided by 800,000. Could you kindly now give me these figures very fast? I don't even have to write really down these figures. They'll become too huge. This is December. This is December 2022. This is December 2022. This is December 2022. So we have X1. So X1, according to my friends here, it's 0.02. Thank you very much. 0.02 for A. How about X1 for boy? X1 for boy, are you able to see working capital over boy divided by its total assets? For boy, we can see for boy, the working capital for boy is 2,000. You divide by the total assets of boy, 100,000. What are we getting, ladies and gentlemen? Please, I'm depending on you guys to give me answers. 4 decimal places, remember. 0.002 as well. 0.02 as well. How about X1 for cow? How about X1 for cow? How about X1 for cow? So X1 for cow, it will be working capital is 6,000 divided by 800,000. Divided by 800,000. What figure are they getting, ladies and gentlemen? Is it 0.02 again? I doubt. I would highly 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 doubt. For C, CX1, CX1, CX1. Working capital, all over total assets, all over TA, total assets. Total assets, maybe I could project the question again. So in this case here, we have for C, this is what we have for C. We have here working capital of 6,000 divided by total assets of 800,000. For C, what do we have? .0075 according to Lucy Ongayo Gray. So 0.0075. And then now we go to X2. Remember, we are following the Mwalimu's formula. Not Mwalimu's, but examiner's formula. X2. So go to X2, ladies and gentlemen, and you should be able for X2, you should be able to pick the formula that was given to us by the examiner. You can see also here there was a twist. He told us X2 is retained earnings over total assets. X2 here. He told us X2 is retained earnings over total assets. So you can see for A, retained earnings is 60,000 for A, divided by the total assets of 200,000. So is there somebody who can easily give us X2? Is there somebody who can easily give us X2? Is there somebody who can easily give us X2? Is there somebody who can easily give us X2? According to Mr. George, it is 0.3. 0.3 X2 retained earnings all over. Thank you, Lucy. Omego. Thank you, Wangeshi. Then go ahead and give me X2 for company boy. For company boy, now you guys have gotten accustomed to this. For company boy, what do we have? For company boy, retained earnings are 20,000 and total assets are 100,000. This really, I can get this very first. I can see it is 0.2. It is 0.2. I can see this is point what here. This is 0.2 like that. And then we go to cow. And then we go to cow. So for cow, what do we have here for cow? We go to cow for X2. I can see retained earnings are 20,000 vis-a-vis total assets of 800,000. I may not be able to have that figure really up on my head. For X2, company cow, company cow. X2, company cow, company cow. And I would want some confirmation whether we are together. Are you guys able to follow, or is Mwalimu very first? Are you guys able to follow? Are you guys able to follow, or is Mwalimu very fast? Are you guys able to follow? You know, the essence really, this is all about you. It's not about me. It's about you. They're able to follow. Great. So Julius at least has confirmed. So please, anytime you feel that Mwalimu is very fast, remember it's about you. Raise up your hand and tell me, Mwalimu, I'm now floating. So for example, X3. For example, X3, What have they told us about X3? It is EBIT, earnings before interest and tax, divided by total assets, of which you can see EBIT here. So for example, for company A, EBIT is 10,000. And we are using the same base, which is total assets here, 200,000. So then this behoves that you guys have to move very fast and give me this X3 for company A, where you are taking 10,000 divided by the total assets, which are 200,000. Remember, we are using the formula given to us by the examiner, How I wish if you guys are following, you can now move with the much needed speed. We get to finish this question. Very fast, very fast. We get to finish this question very fast. So X3, according to my friends here, for A, it is 0.05. Thank you so much. 0.05. Please, using the same breath, go ahead and give me X3 for boy. Remember, it's EBIT divided by total assets for boy. So you go to EBIT, earnings before interest and tax for boy, divided by the total assets of boy. Don't get confused. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, we have here for boy, I can see EBIT is 0. Actually, so a nice one. It is 0 divided by 100,000, which is as good as what here? 0. These are nice ones. Then go in this case here to cow. Ladies and gentlemen, cow. I can see negative 30,000 as the EBIT. I can see negative 30,000 as the EBIT for cow. Divided by the total assets of 800,000. Then what are we able to get there, ladies and gentlemen? For cow? It must be negative something. So they're giving me negative 0.0375. Negative 0.0375. Thank you, guys. You guys are great people. Thank you so much. Then we go to X4. So for X4, what do we have here? So for X4, ladies and gentlemen, what we have for X4 as per the formula, go and look for the sales figure. The sales figure is here. And then you divide this by what here? By the total assets. So sales divided by total assets. So like now for A, it will be 200,000 sales divided by total assets, which are 200,000. So is there somebody who can give me? Of course, you don't even have to give me this figure. I'm able to see that X4 for sure for company R is 1. Is there somebody who is able to see that? Yes, thank you very much, Wangeshi. Thank you very much, Silas. Then please go ahead and give me X4 for boy. Start with sales, divided by the total assets of a boy. I can see their sales are 120,000, and I can see total assets are 100,000. They're 100,000. So what figure are they able to get there? Somebody is telling me that this is supposed to be 1.2. Then I would want to give you one secret. Having taught over Zoom for so long, even if you are good at something, ensure that you are participating in our discussions. Ensure that you are always at the forefront of giving us answers. You will not fail. You will do this paper and pass one touch. There is always power in you giving us figures there, using a keyboard very well. There is always power in that. Because there are so many distractions that come, especially when you are starting from home. Starting from home is not easy as well. As much as it comes with a lot of convenience, you'll get, for example, there you are with your kids. They don't even understand how heavy this thing that I'm teaching is. Right? Or even your younger sisters, your bigger brothers. So bigger brother in this case here comes and taps you at the back. Hey, my brother, you're too serious with life. There is a cup of coffee here. All right. So in the process, when you are glued towards giving us answers, you look now more serious. So in this case here, you are able even to send some signals to the people who are at home. that now this is a serious thing we are doing because they are seeing you, you're writing down. So it will be very important for you to ensure that you're giving us what here, you're giving us answers. That is the most important thing that you can ever do for us here. Great. Great. So for C is 1.125. Now there we are. We go to X5. We go to X5. We go to X5. So for X5, what do we have here for X5? So for X5 is market value of equity over book value of debt. Over book value of debt. So you can see market value of equity is here. Book value of debt, we have this one here as liabilities. As liability, debt and liabilities, one and the same. Debt and liabilities, one and the same. Debt and liabilities, one and the same. So are they able to give us these answers? Are they able to give us these answers? Are they able to give us these answers really for X5? For X5. So remember X5, we are taking market value of equity, which is 20,000 for A, divided by total liabilities. Total liabilities, which are the same as what here, the debt. The debt. Thank you. Thank you. So according to Lucy, no, that's an earlier answer. George tells me 0 point, I suppose that is point, George. 0.1667. Thank you very much. So how about boy? X5 for boy. So X5 for boy, X5 for boy. Now these guys are giving me answers. For boy, we have 0.0625. For boy, we have 0.0625. How about for cow? X5 for cow. X5 for cow. X5 for cow. We have here X5 for cow, which will be, we can see market value is 48,000 divided by the total liabilities of 740,000. These students are very good. They're very good. They're very good. So Josephat Saumu, they're giving me 0.0649. 4 decimal places, remember, 0.0649. 0.0649. And then now what we need are the coefficients. The coefficients abracadabra. The coefficients abracadabra, which will be given in the equation. This equation here, 1.2x1. So we have here 1.2x1 plus, we have 1.4x2 plus, we have plus x3. X3 there is 3.3x3. 3.3x3 plus x4 is 1x4 plus x5, ladies and gentlemen, is 0.6x5. So then what is the value of the Z? What is the value of the Z there? 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 So we start with A. So A, you take 1.2 times this plus 1.4 times this plus 3.3 times this plus 1 times this plus 0.6 times this. You give me the value of Z. It's quite a lengthy thing, but remember you're doing it with one stroke in your calculator. With one stroke in your calculator. With one stroke in your calculator, then you give me the value of Z. Then you give me the value of Z. Then you give me the value of Z. One stroke, one stroke, one stroke, one stroke. According to Bonasilas, the first one is giving us 1.709 for decimal places. According to Silas, Z should be 1.7. Z should be 1.709. That's according to Silas, 1.7090. That is Z for A, which Mwangaza is able to corroborate. Which Mwangaza is able to corroborate. That is Z for A. 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 So please, using the same concept, could you kindly undo? Could you kindly go ahead and execute the one for boy? Go ahead and execute the one for boy. Go ahead and execute the one for boy. Go ahead and execute the one for boy. As much as I say that learning online is quite a tricky thing, but remember now, this is the way to go. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. I'm so sure there are people who are able to follow me, who are able to follow this live class from Turkana, from Eldoret, from Nakuru. There must be a person here from Kisii, right? I'm able to disseminate this knowledge quite fast to many of you, which is very good as opposed to physical water classes. So it's the thing to go. So long as you have a reliable college, then online studying is the way to go. So according to Silas Wangeshi, 5415, 1.5415, 1.5415. Saumu, thank you very much. Great. Now we are doing the last one. We are doing the last one. We are doing the last one. So for cow, what do we have there for cow? So, and please don't forget to market RCM Online College, you guys. As I told you, last semester we were 270. We need to surpass that number. We need to hit even 500. We need to hit even 500. And you can only do that if you talk to your friends and ensure that you give them our number, 0719 525,000. 0719 525,000. Give them this number. We charge some modest fees, which is 4,200 per paper. 4,200 per paper. Ensure that they call us so they can become part and parcel of this growing online community of learners. So according to Mwangaza is giving me for cow 1.0523. For cow, we have 1.0523. For cow, we have 1.0523. For cow, we have 1.0523. There is nobody who has been able to confirm that this answer of Mwangaza is correct. There is nobody who has been able to confirm that Mwangaza's answer is correct. Mwangaza's answer, is it correct? Is it correct? So somebody called Silas is saying, Mwalimu, no. For C, it is 1.0842. 1.0842, that is C. 1.0842, that is according to one Silas. So there is no way then I will be able to say between the two who is correct until I get like 2 or 3 more people diving into this swimming pool and telling us, hey, you know what? This should be it. This should be it. This should be the correct. 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 So Saumu is giving me 1.0842. 1.0842. 1.0842 seems to be the correct one because there is somebody up there called Silas. See, Wangeshi has been able to confirm that figure. Wangeshi has been able to confirm that figure. So then what this examiner wanted you to do, in terms of financial health, this examiner wanted you to come and give us ranks. Remember, the higher the Z-score, the better a company is. The higher. So the one that has got a higher Z-score in terms of financial liquidity, that is the firm that is what year supposed to be ranked number 1. So of course they went like, so this becomes firm number 1. This becomes firm number 2. This becomes firm number 3. However, remember we have our scale. Remember we have our scale. Remember we have our scale. If you remember our scale Our scale moves like this. Is there somebody who can be remembering how our scale looks like? Is there somebody who can be remembering how our scale looks like? How our scale looks like? Is there anybody who can be remembering how our scale looks like? Is there anybody? Of course, we started with 0. After 0, the Z-score scale, the Z-score scale, the Z-score scale, the Z-score scale. Thanks, Wangeshi, 1.8. And then the last one here is what year? 2.7. Thanks, Silas, 2.7, like that. And if you go by this scale, remember these organizations whose Z is here. Those organizations are bankrupt. Here, we are looking at 50% success, 50% bankruptcy, 50-50. And then, of course, here is success. There is no firm that falls here, no firm that falls here. That A, B, and C are bankrupt organizations. A, B, and C are bankrupt organizations. A, B, and C are bankrupt. Because if you look at this, I mean, 1.7, where does it fall? Here. 1.5, where does it fall? Here. 1.08, where does it fall? Here. So all of them are what here? Bankrupt. They need reorganization. They need reorganization. They would need courts to come and protect them from creditors. You know, once you are declared bankrupt by a court, there is no creditor who can even come and dare pointing their fingers towards you. If they dare doing that, they will be jailed. They will be in contempt of court order. And that is why you realize there are so many people nowadays who run to court for protection. So many people, I don't know why, because they don't know the repercussions. So they get, like, for example, if I owe people a lot of money, what do I do? Like on Monday tomorrow, under certificate of urgency, I'll go to the High Court and ask the judge to declare me bankrupt. But you see now there are consequences of being declared bankrupt. So for example, if you are married and you're declared bankrupt today, your wife legally is allowed to run away from you and there is nothing you can do. Who would want to live with a bankrupt person? Right? So I've seen, like, I have a friend of mine who just went for that protection. So you can be protected from your creditors for 2 years, 3 years, although it comes with very serious consequences, of course, even including things like you not able to own a bank account because you are the most useless person on earth, right? The poor of the very poorest, right? Right? So it becomes what an international disaster. It becomes an international disaster. Okay, you know, this 0, 1.8, 2.7, these are what they are thresholds. They are normally given. It's a scale you have to cram that way. They will be helping us to know the areas where we belong, And I remember, I gave you very well, I remember very well, I gave you guys an assignment to go and calculate Z-scores of your companies. Is there anybody who was able to get their company's financial statements and they were able to compute those figures? Because I have to teach you these things in a very practical way. If I'm teaching you what you can't apply, then that will be a very sorry state for more living. I must teach you these things, right, in a very practical way. Anybody who has been able to retrieve their financial statements of last year, you retrieve financial statements of last year for your company, and then you compute. And then now in the next class, which will be on Friday, this one I'm so sure you never got. If you're working for a profit-making company, you should be able to do this. If you're working for a profit-making company, you should be able to do this. You simply get the income statement of last year and the balance sheet of last year, and then you compute them. But now, warning. If, for example, you get your Z-score is here, don't run to the directors and tell them, you know what, this company of yours is going to die tomorrow. These guys will fire you. These guys will fire you, right? They'll fire you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I expect you to do what here, to keep on looking at these things. So our classes now will begin formally, not AFM, don't say the other class. AFM will now begin formally from next week on Friday. It has been an opportunity, great opportunity to host you this evening. Thank you so much, and bye-bye, and good night.